Hello, my dear future doctors. Hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to have, I can say, a PYQ marathon. So it's going to be 2024 NEET questions. Okay. So I have come up with 10 questions today. So let me tell you how the session is going to look like. So you are going to have a question, right? I will read out the question and the options, and then I will start the timer. So for each question, you are going to have a 5-second timer. So once I start, you have 5 seconds to choose an answer, but choose it in your mind, or I want everybody to be ready with a piece of paper so that for that question you can write down the answer. Once the timer ends, I will show you the answer slide and I'll tell you why that particular answer is the right answer and why others are the wrong ones. Okay? So this is how the session is going to be. I hope this will be very useful for you. I am continuously putting a lot of questions in the shorts video too. I'm super happy to see so many of you are benefiting and viewing it, and it will be very great if you show your support towards it by liking it, by subscribing to the channel, so that I can come up with more such videos knowing your interest. And also feel free to put your comments in the comment box, whatever you feel. Ma'am, this year paper is particularly very difficult. Why don't we solve that as the next session? So you can give me suggestions. Like, I want everybody to show the full Josh. Yeah, be active, actively participate. Okay, let us begin, children. So let us see the first question. Of course, we are going to discuss part 1 and the paper code is R1. Here goes the Auxin is used by gardeners to prepare weed-free lawns, but no damage is caused to grass, as auxin A. promotes abscission of mature leaves only, B. does not affect mature monocotyledonous plants, C. can help in cell division in grasses to produce growth, and D. promotes apical dominance. Yeah? Clear with the question? Your time starts now. Yeah, time is up. I hope everybody picked the answer. So the answer is option B. Does not affect mature monocotyledonous plants. Student, if you see here, weeds, of course, they are dicots. The metabolic response of a dicot towards auxin and a monocot towards auxin will be very different, right? If you see, the auxin will bring rapid growth in the dicot, which will bring about their death. That's why only the weeds will die. But the monocots, which is nothing but the grasses are monocots. So they will not be affected because their structure and metabolic response towards auxin is very different. Okay, so option B is the right answer. Does not affect mature monocot like grass, so that you can have a very fresh grass lawn. So I have added the answers in points and I have highlighted the key points as well. Yeah, yes. Monocots are basically less affected by the auxins, which is highly affected, the dicots, the weeds. So the grass remain unaffected and the weeds get affected, so that you can get a fresh lawn. Moving on to the next question, 2. Lecithin, a small molecular weight organic compound found in living tissues, is an example of A. phospholipids, B. glycerides, C. carbohydrates, D. amino acids. What is lecithin? Your time starts 3, 2, 1 right now. Okay, hope you all have answers with you. And here is the answer. Option A, phospholipid. So children, the 3 important components of lecithin, if you see, is fatty acid, glycerol and a phosphate group, which is very clear that it is a phospholipid, right? Yeah, it's one of the important constituent of the cell membrane which maintains its structure. So keep that in your mind. Moving on to the question 3. Match list 1 with list 2. Okay, choose the correct answer from the options given below. List 1, 2 or more alternative forms of gene. B. cross of F1 with homozygous recessive parent. C. cross of F1 progeny with any of the parents. D. number of chromosome sets in plant. Okay, so list 2, if you see, back cross, ploidy, allele and test cross. So you have A, B, C, D, matching A, B, C, D with respect to 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, pick the right matchings. Which is the right match for everything respectively? Think and answer. Okay, I'm going to start the timer. Hope you all read the question. 3, 2, 1, your time starts now. Great, amazing. The answer is option B. Okay, let us try and match here. 2 or more alternative forms of genes. Of course, alleles. Option 3. So A is 3. We are very sure about that, right? Look at the option. Only option B as A as 3. Correct? So it's very clear that should be the right option, but never ever come to that conclusion. I want everybody to match every option and then look for the answers. It's always a good practice. Sometimes, when you are in a hurry burry, you might not note another option which has A as 3. In this case, it's fine. But always the questions are not going to be like this, right? Yeah. For confusion, they will create options like that. So never ever do that mistake. Okay. Slowly match all of the following and then go cross check it with the options. So A definitely is 3. Okay. Cross of F1 with homozygous recessive parent, that is very important here. That is test cross. With any parent, it is back cross. Okay, so B is 4 and C is 1. And then number of chromosome sets, we call it ploidy, 2. So right matching is option B. I have added the answer slide. You can pause, you can read it. Okay, I have explained anyways in the answer slide itself. If you want to know slowly and in detail, pause the video, refer the answer slide. Okay, for every quiz, I have added the answer slide. Moving on to the next one. Identify the set of correct statements. Okay, the flower of Vallisneria are colorful and produce nectar. The flowers of water lily are not pollinated by water. In most of water pollinated species, the pollen grains are protected from wetting. Option D, pollen grains of some hydrophytes are long and ribbon-like. Option E, in some hydrophytes, the pollen grains are carried passively inside water. Choose the correct answer from the option given below. Option A, B, C and D only. B, A, C, D and E only. C, B, C, D and E only. D, C, D and E only. So what do you think, children? Come on, everybody. Just pick the right ones. Which statement you feel is true? Pick that particular option. Okay? Your time starts 3, 2, 1 right now. Come on, everybody, quickly. Great. Amazing. I hope you have all the answers with you. Yeah. Here goes the answer. So they are saying B, C, D and E only. Yup. B, C, D and E only are true, which means A is wrong. Why is A wrong? Vallisneria, is it colorful? Does it produce nectar? No. Neither both, right? It is not colorful and it won't produce nectar. So it's absolutely a false statement. But other things, if you see, water lily not pollinated by water, true, because it's pollinated by insects. Then, the pollen grains are of course hydrophobic in nature. That's why they are not getting wetted. Option D also, if you see, hydrophytes, certain hydrophytes, if you see, they have ribbon-like pollen grains for floating. And E, yes, pollen grains are passively carried by water to fertilize. That is also true. So, except for A, all others are true. Moving on to the next question. List of endangered species was released by WWF, FOAM, IUCN, GEAC. What do you think is right here? Endangered species. What are endangered species? Your time starts now. It's an easy question. Easy peasy. I hope everybody will answer this. The answer is IUCN. I'll give you a small trick to remember this, okay? IUCN, you can remember the abbreviation as I understand creatures need, okay? A small trick to remember. I understand creatures need. So I'm very concerned about the endangered species, right? What are the endangered ones which is at the risk of extinction? Right? So we need to conserve them. So International Union for Conservation of Nature is the right answer. Moving on to the question number 6. What is the fate of a piece of DNA carrying only the gene of interest, which is transferred into an alien organism? The piece of DNA would be multiply itself independently in the progeny cells of the organism. B, it may get integrated into the genome of the recipient. C, it may multiply and be inherited along with the host DNA. D, the alien piece of DNA is not an integral part of the chromosome. E, it shows the ability to replicate. A and B only, D and E only, B and C only, A and E only. Okay, go through all the statements slowly. Since it's a bigger question, I'll give you a little more time. Okay, shall I start? 3, 2, 1, your time starts now. Pick the answer soon, write it down in the piece of paper. Time is up. Here goes the answer. B and C only are true, correct? Will the piece of DNA be able to multiply itself independently? No. Only with the help of the host DNA it can. D, if you see, the alien piece of the DNA is not an integral part of the chromosome. How can you say that? It becomes a part of the chromosome, right? The host DNA as well. It shows the ability to replicate only when it is a plasmid. It has the ability to replicate, right? So B and C, if you see, of course, it is integrated into the genome of the recipient. It may multiply and be inherited along with the host DNA. That is also true. So B and C only. I have added the explanation slide here. Step 1 says why B and C are correct. Step 2 says why A, D and E are wrong. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following are required for dark reaction, the Calvin cycle, right, of photosynthesis? Easy question. Light, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, ATP, NADPH. Choose the correct answer. B, C and D, C, D and E only, D and E only, A, B and C only. Ready everybody? Come on. 3, 2, 1. Your time starts right now. Okay, I hope you all have the answers in your sheet. The answer is C, D and E only, of course, because light and chlorophyll are important components of light reaction, not dark reaction, right? Yes. So I have added the answer. Why carbon dioxide? Of course, for making sugars, for carbon fixation. ATP for providing energy. NADPH is a reducing power, right? Which is converting the 3-phosphoglycerate into G3P. Correct. So these three are very much essential for the dark reaction. Next one. The type of conservation in which the threatened species are taken out from their natural habitat, taken out, children, and placed in special settings where they can be protected and given special care. In situ conservation, biodiversity conservation, semi-conservative method, sustainable development. Again, I can say it's an easy question. 3, 2, 1, your time starts right now. Okay, the answer is biodiversity. You might ask me, ma'am, ex situ conservation is the right answer here. Yes, of course, ex situ, because they are taking out the threatened species from their natural habitat and putting in special settings like zoos or botanical gardens, like that. Now, when that is the case, you call it ex situ, right? They are being taken out from their natural habitat. But unfortunately, you do not have the option here. Ex situ. Only you have in situ, semi-conservative, sustainable development. All these are definitely not the answer. Ex situ is the answer. But since you have biodiversity conservation here, it's a broader terminology which covers both in situ and ex situ. So you can go with option B. Okay? Yes. I have added the answer explanation. Okay. Now, there are two statements. Statement 1. BD toxins are insect group specific and coded by gene CRY-IAC. Statement 2. BD toxins exist as inactive protoxin in Bacillus thuringiensis. However, after ingestion by the insect, the inactive protoxin gets converted into active form due to the acidic pH of the insect gut. So individually read the statement. Is statement 1 true? Is statement 2 true? What do you think about it? Both statement 1 and 2 are false. Statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Statement 1 is false, statement 2 is true. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. What do you think is the right answer? Your time starts 3, 2, 1 right now. Come on, children. Yes. So here goes the answer. Statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Obviously, right? Because, of course, the toxins are specific for specific group. And the gene code for that is CRY-IAC. That's very true. But why is the statement 2 wrong? Of course, after ingestion only the inactive protoxin is getting activated. That is true. That part is true. But which is activating? Is it the acidic pH of the insect gut? It's the alkaline, the basic pH. Okay, that's the wrong word there. So statement 2 is false, obviously. I have added the answer slide. Okay. Moving on to the next question. The last and the final question for the session. Come on. I want everybody to answer. A transcription unit in DNA is defined primarily by 3 regions in DNA, and these are with respect to upstream and downstream ends. Okay? What are the primary 3 regions? Structural gene, transposons, operator gene, inducer, repressor, structural gene, promoter, structural gene, terminator, repressor, operator gene, and structural gene. Ready, everybody? Again, an easy and an important question. 3, 2, 1. Your time starts now. Okay, here goes the answer. So with respect to upstream and downstream, it should be promoter, structural gene, and the terminator. Promoter is the one which begins, right, the transcription process. Structural gene, of course, has the instruction for making the protein, and the terminator is the one which stops transcription. So the 3 essential regions. All right. Yes, with that, we are completing the 10 questions, right, of paper code R1. I hope you all enjoyed the session. So children, one thing, if you're liking the video, please give a thumbs up, right, and do subscribe. I'm coming up with a lot more questions which will be super useful for you, okay? Please feel free to put your answers in the comment box, your suggestions in the comment box. Most welcome, okay? I hope you all enjoyed the session. We'll see you in the next session with a lot more questions. Tara, bye bye, and take care.